Hey everybody, I am your girl, Miss Nicole Tyler. How are you all doing? Happy Saturday. Today is April 18th, 2020. I am here today. Yes, I am. Hello to everybody. I'm out and about, but I'm just getting out, okay? I slept a little late today. I did. And I'm just getting out. It is beautiful outside. I'm seeing a lot of people are out. A lot of people are not wearing their masks. If you choose to wear yours, please do. Um, there's nothing wrong with that. Continue to wash your hands and all of those things to protect yourself. If you feel that there are some safety issues around you, if you still feeling like the COVID virus is in your area, if it is in your area, things like that, and you need to come out because you've been in so long, please protect yourself, okay? And just in general, these things are nothing new to the American people, okay? The American people is always protecting themselves and washing their hands and things like that any damn way, okay? So anyway, I am your girl, Miss Nicole Tyler. You all, what is popping on the YouTube streets right now is another content creator, Wiley. He is a content creator who has been in this sector for the last 2.5 years, like myself, Miss Nicole Tyler, the ruler in the building. Come on in the room. 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 Hey, come on in the room so we can get the show started today. Yes, yes, yes. So if you all have been on the YouTube streets, shout out to the official King Payne. I put his video on my community feed for you all to watch. Miss Nicole Tyler had got a wind of this alleged situation a couple of weeks ago, and I did not want to bring it out because a lot of people says that Mr. Cole Tyler is always hating and Mr. Cole Tyler is always trying to hitch her wagon to other people's whatever they got going on. No, that is just not true. I am a content creator just like the next. I break stories. I talk about topics on my damn program. And I actually brought this story to you all, but because it was not in the algorithm yet, I did not bring it forward. But I've already known about this situation. Gentlemen, let me just put that out there. And so I'm seeing that official King Payne, a lot of people send him information regarding the situation with Mr. Wiley. Alleged attempted sexual misconduct and alleged attempting to drug this said individual. If you have been on my community feed, his name is Wiley Pro, and I also I took the little screenshot down that I've taken because I went back and watched the video, and it seemed that Wiley Pro, in him telling his story, because it was out on the YouTube streets the last couple of weeks, and he did not say the rape word and he did not say the drug word, so I did not want to be misleading to you all like some people do. I took that screenshot down, that thumbnail down, okay? But the truth is, you all, that those things did occur, okay? There were some sexual misconduct that went on. This is what I believe, and there were some, in my opinion, there were some ruthie or drugging this young man. I said it. Now this young man this young man's video was sent to official King Payne. His name is Wiley. It happened a couple of years ago when he and Wiley, they got together. They corresponded with each other on the phone. They got together to do a show. Both of them are vloggers. They got together to do a show. This young man, I believe he is from New York, and so he traveled to Texas to visit Mr. Wiley. When he got there, Mr. Wiley did not want to give him the address to where the show was going to be, because this man also was meeting up with a couple of other vloggers and people who are in the industry. He was supposed to be meeting up with people that weekend, and so the first on his agenda was to meet up with Mr. Wiley to get this show going. And when he got to Texas, you all know that's where Wiley is living now. Wiley from the Shire. Now we're gonna go back and forth with this story, but I just want to get this out to we're gonna go ahead on and just preface it right now. While it's still in my head, okay. Okay, so he went. His name is Joaquin Pro. He went to meet Mr. Wiley. Mr. Wiley did not give him the address. He thought that it may be in a studio or something, but Mr. Wiley did not give him the address. He actually went to meet him, went to pick him up because he was going to take a cab or Uber to the studio. He thought he was, but Mr. Wiley did not give him the address. He came to pick him up. When he went to pick him up, he said, it seemed there were some subtle red flags, but anyway, he ended up getting in the car with Mr. Wiley. He noticed that the car was junky. He noticed that Mr. Wiley, seemed to be a bit messy, had food in the car, throwing the food out in the parking lot and things like that. He also brought up the situation because at that time, you all know it was Wiley's always involved in these scandals. And that scandal involving Wiley's grandmother was at the forefront of a lot of people's minds at that time. And so he said that he talked to him about that situation. Basically, how Wiley does, he deflects, and he gave him some old church story. And he just said, okay, so that was like a red flag as well. But he was really interested and excited to work with Mr. Wiley on this vlogging experience that he wanted to have. He said they were both new YouTubers, or they were in the YouTube game, but they had not really got a lot of subscribers at that time. So he was interested in working with Mr. Wiley in hopes of increasing the subscriber count, okay, and getting a little notoriety, And so anyway, Mr. Wiley picked him up. He still hadn't got no address to where they were going. Also, he said, he thought, well, maybe, okay, I'm just going to put this to the back, and just go ahead on and trust this man. He said also that he had heard a lot of negative things about him, but, he said, okay, he said, I guess sometimes, you all know, we like to give the benefit of the doubt. And if you ask me, this is what this man, Joaquin Pro, was doing with Mr. Wiley. He was giving him the benefit of the doubt, even though he had heard a whole lot of negative press and negative things about him. He still was giving them a chance. Okay, so he said as they were proceeding on their trip to this unknown location, he realized that they were going into a residence. Okay, he said when he said that Wilder is 6'1", 6'2". He's a tall, dark, big man. Okay. If you look at Joaquin, he gave me the impression that he's a slender, light-skinned gentleman with, got nice middle-length shoulder hair, and he wears it back, okay, in a ponytail. Okay, so he says that, they got there to this residence. The residence wasn't he said it's a nice area, a gated community, but when they got into the residence, it was not very, cleanly. It was kind of disheveled. They had an air mattress in the middle of the damn floor. And he was looking like, okay, this does not seem like some type of professional situation, but okay, I'm here. A lot of red flags coming to this man, but he's thinking, okay, I'm here. I got my phone on me just in case I need to call 911. I got a lot of friends that know that I'm here. So maybe in his mind, he's thinking I'll be able to call for help if needed. And him, observing the situation, the house with all the equipment. He is saying that the equipment is from different types of manufacturers. He was saying that it did not seem like it was a professional. Basically, it was not in a professional atmosphere. He said it even at one point. He went to the bathroom. He said the bathroom was so filthy for it to be two men living there, but he said the bathroom was just so dirty. It was so filthy. He said it was not sanitary. I guess at this time he's just thinking, I just want to go ahead on and get this show out the way, okay? So also he said that because he was coming to meet Mr. Wiley, he said that the way he was raised, when you're coming to meet someone you also buy a gift for that person. And I'm in the South, and we do the same thing. If we're coming to a person's house, we always ask you, would you like for me to bring something to eat? I could stop and pick something up. You're very courteous and respectful like that here in the South. That is what we do. We'll stop and pick something up because we just don't come to someone's house empty-handed. So he said that, he was going to stop and pick him up some champagne because that is what he drank. And I guess that he asked, Mr. Wilder, if he could pick him up something, okay? Because if you've listened to the stories that I'm hearing when Wilder has talked about this situation, he always like to say that Mr. Juan Key was just drunk out of his mind. He was just drunk. All of these are false allegations. This man don't know what he's talking about because he's drunk. Mr. Waukee said that, well, he drinks champagne online all the time, and people watches him drinking. You see, he's never inebriated on camera. So anyway, he and Mr. Wilder, they proceed to do the show. They proceeded to do the show. He said at one point, Wilder pulled out a green notebook saying that he has information on a gospel singer. And he said that when he looked into the notebook to see the facts of what he had written down, was nothing written down. Okay, he said it was just all a big hoax or all a big lie that he pretends to his audience like he has all this tea and all of these details written down about people, but really nothing is there. So basically, Wilder is making up all these false allegations about anybody or people who he deem is going to give him some clicks and views, that he said nothing was written in that notebook. Okay, so he says that after, so I guess he said that also that they were supposed to start at maybe 8 or 8:30, and they didn't even start until 10:30. And he said that, he kept on telling him that I need to be out. I'm meeting someone. I'm meeting my significant other. I need to be out of here. I need to know the address. He said that Wilder just did not want to give him the address. He said that he kept on asking, I would take an Uber, whatever I need to take. Now, this man is from New York, and he's here in a strange town. And he is saying, give me the address so I can put it in my phone so I can schedule my Uber, schedule my ride. And he said that Wilder just did not give him the address. Now, I don't know why he didn't go outside and look and see where he was. I don't know, but in the conversation that I just saw on Official King Pains, he did not do these things, okay? He did not go outside to see where the hell he was, okay? And Wilder was not giving up the information of where the hell they were. So I'm thinking that once he went to the bathroom is when maybe some drugation happened, when maybe he drugged him. He said when he came out, he had his phone on the little phone stand where they were recording and doing their show. And he said when he came out of the bathroom, his cousin had emerged, and from wherever he was in his room, I guess, his cousin came, and he said his cousin just was having some type of idle conversation, with him, but he was looking over there at Wilder and took the man's phone, then went in his phone and erased and blocked a lot of his contacts, his mother, his parents, his boyfriend, a lot of his contacts. He had blocked a lot of these people, erased their numbers. And also Wilder, this is alleged, as you will see in the title, I said alleged. Also, he is alleging that Wilder also took pictures out of his phone too. Okay, and so he's saying that while he's talking to the cousin, he's kind of looking at Wilder and seeing what the hell is going on. And I guess he's starting to get a little, maybe, in and out of consciousness, but he's woke. In my opinion, this is what was going on. Because a lot of it, he seemed, this man is in therapy as well. This man has been going to therapy for this situation. So he's saying that he's trying to look at Wilder and listen to the cousin as well. So it's almost like the cousin was a distraction for what Wilder was doing. Okay, so he said that at one point he started to feel fearful of his life. He did, for some reason, he started to feel fearful of his life because Wilder would not give him his phone. His cousin kept trying to talk to him, and somehow he ended up punching Wiley. I ain't mean to say his name. He ended up punching Wilder in the face. So there was some type of altercation that went down. Okay. Also, he ended up getting his phone. He ended up running out of the house. Now, he did not say drugation or he was drugged, but you can tell something went on to where when he got outside, he had to bolt outside. He had to run outside. He felt fearful for his life. And he said that his hair was out. His hair was disheveled. It was not in a ponytail anymore. And he was fearful, and he was trying to call people on the phone. That is when he called his friend. I don't know the young man's name. because I did not write it down. But anyway, I think he's on that show Circle of New York or something. He actually called him and was saying that he was afraid, he's scared, something is going on. I don't know where I'm at. The guy who he was talking to, they were on FaceTime, and they could actually hear Wild Eye in the back telling him to come back, to come back. And he said he actually could hear him. He said, and it's all recorded, and it's on FaceTime, and the man might even have it recorded. Okay, so now this came out a couple of weeks ago, when I guess because the Circle of New York is a known show. I'm guessing all these men are gay men, and I'm guessing that Mr. Wild Eye wanted to have an interview with that guy that the Juan Key talked to about that situation that happened with that sexual misconduct situation. And somehow he and Wiley, that guy and Wiley got into it, and so it had something to do with a horse and all this kind of crazy stuff. Wiley said, you can't afford a horse, and the guy said, well, I know some information about you and what you did to my friend, and somehow all of it came out. Okay, so to bring it back today with Mr. Official King Payne, he has the video. It was sent to him, and so he played the video on his channel. So if you all want to go over there to Mr. King Payne's channel, you can. It's a part 1 and a part 2. I only watched part 1. Mr. Armand Wiggins was in the chat. Mr. King Payne is saying that this man, that Mr. Wild Eye should be registered as a sex offender. A lot of young men are coming out. They're saying that Mr. Wild Eye has done this to many boys and men. If you all have watched my show, Miss Nicole Tyler, aka Sex Cleaner Ruler, you know that Mr. Wild Eye has been on my show, and he has confessed to catfishing men and stealing people's pictures and pretending that he's someone else. And when they come over, he's dressed in a towel. And this is why really I believe Mr. Waukee. I believe Mr. Waukee only because of the confession of Mr. Wild Eye, because he said that he does these things. And in my opinion, if you catfish and lie, also, there is an allegation, you all, that this man has done some things to his own grandmother. And that is one of the real reasons why he got ran out of his hometown of Chicago. None of this stuff is new. I want you all to call in if you want to, 804-528-7766. Let Miss Nicole Tyler know, and all of the Hearts and Roses, put some Hearts and Roses in the chat. Let me know, and let the Hearts and Roses know if you believe this story, if you believe these allegations coming out against Mr. Wild Eye. Now, I believe it only because he has confessed and said that he does catfish. We also know that he is behind sending Mr. J. Wilson some emails and threatening Mr. J. Wilson, saying that if you don't come out to say that you are a gay man, we are going to expose you. Okay, now we know that we'll just say alleged as well, that this man is behind this situation as well. Okay, we also know that this man, he has a shady past here on the YouTube streets, where he has came out and said that he had did some things to another YouTuber by the name of ZT, saying that he slept with ZT and ZT's boyfriend, and they were involved in some threesome and all this kinds of mess where there was drugs involved. He came out and said these things, and ZT kept saying these are lies, 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 lies. He has also came out against another YouTuber by the name of QB, and said that he has slept with QB, and said that QB has gave him all these STDs. Like, he has a wild imagination when it comes to sex, okay? And when it comes to him allegedly or lying about being involved with these said YouTubers, gay members here in our YouTube sector. He has also said that when one of the YouTubers by the name of Duchess Kelly Love reached out to him for a zip lining trip, he said that no, you really wanted to meet me at a spa and you wanted to get it in. And he put that rumor out there. That's what him and Jay Wilson wanted to do with him. Mr. Wild Eye said these wild accusations about these men. So when it comes to this man, Waukee Pro, I really, really believe it. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I do believe it, because all of this is just nothing new and out of character for this young man, Mr. Wild Eye. Now, also, let me get back to the grandmother. Also, what I heard in the streets, you all, is that the grandmother, her memory might be a little shady when it comes to what may actually happen. We'll say, I'm gonna put alleged over top of it, because she was also drugged, and that's why she don't really remember what Wilder did to her, because she was drugged. Okay, and so that's why the family member, the church, everything has kicked him out of Chicago. He is not wanted at the church. Okay, they are embarrassed by his actions. They are embarrassed by him. He is also known, you all, for saying that he was homeless after his mom kicked him out, after he has allegedly fought his mother, allegedly called CPS on his sister 5 times, allegedly tried to allegedly sleeping with his grandma, drugging and sleeping with the grandma, allegedly. He is also known for what he said. I've heard him say this years ago, that when he was homeless, that he was out there prostituting himself. Okay, so all of these things, I am not surprised about this young man, Mr. Wild Eye. Okay, I'm not surprised. It's just baffling to me, you all, when you have people come out and show you who they are, and then they throw in a little church behind it and tell you, no one is perfect and God is the one who can judge me. And this is what those pastors and what those priests say and do whenever they are busted and disgusted, whenever they are shown in a daggone predatory light against young boys, okay? Against young boys and what they are doing. They tell you how you can't judge them when they are running around out here in all of this world, abusing little boys and taking advantage of people and drugging these men and throwing themselves on these people and these men, okay? Actually, they are raping these men and some of these boys. I said it. And you have people here in our sector who will tell you that it's entertainment. And then you wonder why, when you have these victims come out and try to tell you their stories, people don't want to believe it. People don't want to believe it. And you wonder why people don't go to the police. You wonder why people are committing terrible acts against themselves, like suicide, because they know that they will be ostracized. They know that people won't believe them. People will blame it on them. Now, when I was listening to that young man, Waukee, tell his story, and like I said, go over there to Official King Payne's channel. He got part 1 and part 2. I only saw part 1. You had people in the chat still saying that they don't believe the damn man. Do you all know what it takes for somebody to come out and say that I possibly have been raped? Do you all know? And I was just sitting there looking at some of the people in the chat. They do not want to believe it. It's sad. That is why these people don't come out and tell you all, I have been molested. Something has happened to me. I can't, and I'm embarrassed about it. So, I mean, it was a sad story. I thank God for the young man that he is still here. I thank God that he did put it on record. I think he did not want to go into some more details about it, but you can tell something happened with his hair being out. He was disheveled. He had to run out of the house. Something happened. Something happened with that young man. I don't care what nobody, I believe that. I believe that. So something happened with that young man, and I think it was very courageous and brave for him to come out. I think it was very courageous and brave. And it's sad that, Mr. Wilder is just saying, the man was drunk, or why he didn't go to the police, and all these kinds of things to cover up his sin, to cover up what he is doing to other boys. Because also that is what Mr. King Payne was saying, that he has done this to boys, okay? Now, I did not say that. I heard King Payne say that Mr. Wilder has done this to young boys before. Okay? Now, another thing, I did a show a couple of weeks ago about people who blame their terrible behavior on mental issues, mental health. If that's the case, get off of YouTube or go get some damn help. If you are out here abusing boys and abusing men that you can't control your sexual appetite, so that you gotta drug somebody. Or you gotta sit up there and take advantage of somebody way younger than you. Okay? So I want you all to know, I don't know if you all have watched it, but I want you all to go and watch it. And I want to know what you think about it. The number is 804-528-7766. Do you believe that there was some sexual misconduct on Mr. Wiley's part? Do you believe that he did this to Mr. Juan Key? All right, 804-528-7766. So I'll wait for a little bit. I'm just going to come out and say straight up, I believe it, only because of all of this sexual inappropriate behavior that surrounds this man. Okay? And for him to cover it up, he has to have all of this doggone. And the guy is very smart. He's very entertaining, but he's also very cunning. Okay? How many of you all have gone to somebody's house and they've taken your phone? And they blocked all your numbers, blocked all of your phone numbers out to your mother, blocked your boyfriend's number out, taking your pictures out of your... How many of y'all have had somebody do that to you? Let me tell you another thing that this Mr. Waukee said. He said that once he got out of there and he met up with his boyfriend, his significant other. He said that a couple of days later that the people were trying to call him. They couldn't even get in contact with him because the numbers were blocked. And he did not do that. Why is people trying to contact this man and his numbers are blocked? Because it also came out on Mr. Unofficial King Payne's page where people who are predators, they try to alienate you so that if something is going down, like if there is an alleged something rape gonna happen, when you try to call your family members, you can't call them. Get into it. The number is not there for you to call to get help. This stuff is real. It's unfortunate. This stuff is very real. So when that man was gonna try to call for help, won't nobody gonna answer his cry. Because it already had been taken care of by Mr. Wilder to block these people, block these numbers. And also screenshot pictures and things like that. So, if you try to tell on me, I got this picture. Now, who else have said that who else have said it about Mr. Wilder in the sector? Do you all remember Rico said that? That somebody said he had got into his phone and took pictures out of his phone? Now we're hearing it from this guy who has an encounter with Mr. Wilder some years back, said the same damn thing. That some pictures was taken out of his phone. So you all still not gonna believe this story. This is just all made up. Even if you don't believe this story, I want you to still listen. Because it's going on out here in the world. Now, let me tell you a story that happened to my girlfriend when we lived in Las Vegas, okay? Now, you all know I lived in Vegas sometime, way back about 15, 12, whatever years ago now. And so my girlfriend met up with this guy who was, I want to say Jim Jones DJ or somebody, a known celebrity DJ, right? And so what ended up happening is she linked up with this guy. Me and her talk all day long. Okay, me and this girl, we talk all day long. She does my nails, she does celebrity nails and stuff like that. And so I noticed when she got with this guy, her behavior had changed a little bit, right? I wasn't talking to her that much anymore. I wasn't seeing her that much because we used to go out a couple of days a week in Las Vegas. I noticed I wasn't really talking to her. So one day she was doing my nails. When I finally got with her to do my nails, she just wasn't her damn self, okay? But it all had to do with this guy that she had met who was Jim Jones or somebody DJ, right? And so what ended up happening, you all, I don't know how he did this, but he ended up getting a copy of her credit card, okay? He ended up getting a copy of her credit card. He ended up spending all this money at Bellagio and all of these things. And then he somehow got her phone number. I don't know how he did this, but he got her phone number and got it switched, got it turned to in his name. Right? So so he didn't block me or whatever, because I'm calling her and calling her. I'm calling her. I'm trying to find out what the hell going on with her. Because after she done got with this guy, it's like she ghosts. And then when I do get with her that one time to get my nails done, something ain't right. So what ended up happening, you all, was this guy stole all the money, went to Bellagio, spent all this money on Gucci and all this stuff, cloned her phone. Her mom couldn't get in contact. Mom calling me. I'm going by her house, not there. Something ain't right. I'm calling. So what ended up happening, because she was so enthralled with this man, then she's hanging around the man. And when she's not hanging around the man is doing all this stuff, stealing the damn money and everything. So I guess from the excitement of her hanging around this man, she noticed that she ain't talking to her mama. She noticed she ain't talking to me. She not talking to her friends, because she was caught up with this guy who living lavishly off her money and other women money. He done stole the credit cards and got the phone numbers. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is real. So finally, when I'm talking to her, I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, I've been calling you for days. She had no idea. She walking around with her phone. She got the phone, but her number ain't her number anymore. Get into it. Get into it. So I believe Mr. Juan Key. I believe Mr. Juan Key when he said that these things happen with the phone, and it was something happened there. Okay, that this man is still in therapy for. Hello, this is Miss Nicole Tyler, aka Sexy Clean the Ruler. Did you see the title? Do you believe that Mr. Wilder is guilty of sexual misconduct, attempted drug, what do you want to call it when he is drugging somebody, putting something in somebody's drink? Do you believe that he did these things?
Well, actually, I really like Wiley, so I don't want to speak anything bad against him.
Yeah.
I don't really believe that he did it, because kind of, sort of, but then I wouldn't want to put that on him without knowing the actual facts, because somebody could come off and have like that personality, and he does kind of give you that personality at times. But then people do things the way this new millennial is. And even back in the day when I was younger, people do things. And
do things like what, ma'am? Can you specify these things that people are doing? If that man Joaquin was your son, hold on. Wrong. If that man Joaquin was your son and he came and told you and said, Mom, I went somewhere, someone stole my phone, I think something happened to me, I don't know, I can't really remember, all I know is I had to run out of the house, I don't know, something went on, would you say, I like that person? Would you be prone to believe them, or do you think somebody would just come up with a story like that?
Well, this is what I'm going to say, because we're talking about Wiley. Now, in general,
and Mr. Joaquin as well, both of them.
Yeah, both of them. And I don't know the other guy. I don't, but I'm listening to what you're saying, so I'm getting it, firsthand from you.
Okay.
But anyway, those things does happen, and that's how a lot of people get raped, young kids, boys, girls, and stuff like that. It's foul. If that's what he's doing, it's foul. But speaking about Wiley, it's like you saying two different things. I can agree with you to say those things do happen in life, but we're talking about Wiley right now, and you're kind of, singling out one person. So I'm going to just talk about that one person right now.
Okay.
I don't know if he done that. And then considering the fact that, this King Payne and this, that other guy, the Armand Wiggins, they don't seem to like Wiley. And Wiley looked like he's coming up to me right now. It looked like there's a lot of good things, a lot of good positive things that's happening to him. He's kind of coming out of this beef sector. He's doing a lot of different things. He's networking and connecting with people. So it looked like people might be kind of hating on Wiley at the same time. Now, I'm not
Let me
saying
ask
Wiley
you a
is no
question.
saint.
Did you believe Wiley died when he said he slept with QB and QB gave him diseases?
Well, Wiley sat up there and said he lied. You know what I'm
But
saying?
did you believe? But
like,
hold on, before he said he lied, did you believe him?
I think he was kind of lying because you can look in his face. But did you believe what he's doing it for clicking views? But I don't know him.
Before he said he lied, did you believe him when he put it out?
No, I didn't, because looking in his face, he looked like he was lying to me. Because I was listening to what ZT was saying. And then I was listening to what Wiley was saying, and it looked like it was just about clicking views at that time.
I mean, QB.
That's just me personally. I didn't believe him.
QB. Okay, so you say you don't believe none of the stuff, the allegations that he tells you that he's done. He's done himself. Do you believe that he catfished?
Yeah, I do believe that. I do believe that he's out there doing certain things, but not trying to get off. He put him and that one guy at Rico, they kind of put a lot of their personal business out here. And how I've noticed a lot how the gay community, how they sleep around so, just so freely, when as far as females, when you would call a female a hoe, I mean, they take it to another level. I ain't never heard of certain such things that they do. Not to It really is really too much for me to hear sometimes, because I'm like, I didn't know people was doing certain things like this. This whole gay thing is new. I'm not trying to, shoot nobody down, but it's all new for my ears, because I'm 48 years old, so this is a different era for me. But as far as accusing Wiley of doing that, Miss Nicole, I see where you're coming from.
I say I believe it. Like, I'm not going to accuse. I just believe the story of Juan Key. I believe that because of all of his sexual deviancy that he has done on YouTube. I'm just saying I believe the story because it is stories of him, trying to have sex with Rico, and he pooping on his penis, and he even put this stuff out himself. So it's not far-fetched. It's far-fetched. It's not far-fetched for me to believe that a person would do this stuff because he put it out about himself. And he said he catfishes
to some degree, Miss Nicole, but it's so hard to believe anything in this sector because people lie so much.
But are you the type of person? Are you the type of person that would say that you go out and clean your badissi and clean your vagina and you poop on penises? And would you say that you do these things? Would you say that if a person said that they lying or they?
I mean, not. Do you say? I'm not even. Do you see? Like I said, that doesn't even cross my mind.
But how many people in this sector you seeing saying this stuff? You say that people saying all kind of stuff. How many people you seeing in this sector telling you that they poop on penises and that they catfish and they steal people's identity and they do all these things? How many people in the sector is known for that?
Well, to be honest with you, and I'm just telling you from my point of view, when I hear certain things. When I hear certain men talking about certain things, it makes me uncomfortable. I click it off. It's nothing I really like. I don't listen to that crap.
But how many people have you been in the sector? How long have you been in the sector?
Wow, I've been in the sector before you was in the sector, so I've been here for a while.
How many people doing that? How many people is telling you that they catfish and they poop on penises, and if they want and they will sleep with people with AIDS and
people.
And they sleep with people with AIDS, and if they don't care if they're positive, and they will sleep with a person with AIDS, and they will go out and get home in dwellings, homes, and they will get food stamps and all this kind of stuff. How many people says these things?
Well, I've heard you guys speak on certain people that do. It's like two people in this, 2 or 3 couples. Lately, it's just been a lot of them that came out all of a sudden since that trip to DS when they. Her little trip that they had. It was just a lot been going on since then, and my ears have been so overwhelmed just to listen to all this stuff. But like I said, I can't see him doing that. Out of the ordinary. I don't want to accuse him of doing that. That's a lot to accuse somebody of doing something, and you don't have the facts. It's just word of mouth because so and so said it. And that is a lot to accuse somebody, especially when this man has been building his channel up and doing as good as he's doing a great job right now. For somebody to kind of accuse you of doing that, just picture yourself, Miss Nicole, on
Yeah.
your way up, and they bring up something that's not true about you and try to pull you down off of your platform. Now, that would kind of bother you if people was just going out here saying, well, he say, she say, and nobody's coming up with actual facts. And
Well,
you know, you got people playing the
the
role.
man that it happened to, he came out and said it.
That's just a man saying it. Where's his proof at? I can say whatever. I can tell you I'm an alien. That's because I'm saying it. Don't mean it is real. You know, that's just not a cool
Do you
thing. But
think?
that's
Do you
all I'm
think
gonna
people?
say.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, thank you, ma'am.
All right, bye.
So this lady right here, she says that she don't believe it only because people are jealous of Mr. Wildine and that people are just making up these accusations because they want to bring him down. Now, like I said, I could see, I would not believe this situation if there was no strange stories about misconduct, sexual misconduct. But since there are so many stories about misconduct, I'm prone to believe it. Especially if it's saying that my grandma, something happened like this to my grandma. It may be some type of validity to the story if all of these stories are looming, all these allegations are looming around one person, and also your whole family has come out and said some things happened to your own grandmother. I don't see where, I understand this lady, but then again, I don't know if she said that she's been in the sector before me, but I don't understand why she have not heard these allegations. These allegations are not even new. They're years and these allegations has been going on for years. So, but she says that maybe his own grandma, maybe is his grandma trying to bring him down too? Was his grandma jealous of him? Why would his own mom and sister try to, in the deacon and all these people who own churches, why would they try to bring him down too? Are they jealous or what? I just want to know. Hello. Hello?
Hello, Nicole.
Yes.
Hi, it's Jason.
Hey, Jason, how are you today? Are you listening to the show?
I am, yeah, thank you. It's good content.
All right. I just want to know, do you believe it or not? Do you believe these allegations, or why was the caller just called before you said that she don't believe it? People are jealous.
Well, first, yeah, well, I do have an opinion on this. First, I want to say, though, yeah, I was cleaning my, I don't know what I was cleaning. I was in another room yesterday. I think it was my floor in my living room. And I heard you, I think, talking to me about praying for me. That wasn't me in your chat. If you were talking to me.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that part up. Okay. What is your comment?
Yeah. Okay, you were talking. Okay, cool. Yeah, you were saying, if somebody said, don't pray for me, I was like, oh, I've never told anybody not to pray for me. So I was like, whoa. No, that wasn't me. And thank you for praying for me. I need it, please. But, so my opinion is, first of all, I think you point out something very smart, which I didn't see. So the sequence of events that you're pointing out regarding blocking the contact so that Wiley didn't have anybody to call, so that this guy didn't have anybody to call to help him. I didn't put that together. So I didn't put that together. I didn't catch that. So that was good that you pointed that out. So it's not that I don't believe him. I do believe, here's the thing. I'm very careful about rape allegations or any kind of real serious allegations that hurt people's character, because I think that nobody was there except for the people, and then people seem to have their own versions when they get into these rape stories that just don't seem to make sense. So that's why I always wonder about people that tell rape stories, because they leave stuff out and it doesn't add up. So do I believe that Wiley and his cousin were capable of doing weird stuff to some dude with drugs and blocking phone numbers? And yeah, I do. Do I believe their house was froze? Yeah, I do. I believe all that stuff is totally plausible. What I also believe is that this dude had too many reasons to be there, and now I'm getting suspicious of him and his story, because he said he was talking to Wiley for hours and hours on end. They were just running their mouths trying to run game on each other, because this dude is super ambitious. Wiley is super ambitious. The two of them are blowing smoke up each other's butts. He said Wiley has 3 people in his chat at this time, but he needs to stop his big business parties and his big events, and he's telling people they should all tune into Wiley's 3-person show, and it's stretching on for 2.5 hours. So it's stretching on for 2.5 hours. This dude sees no cup, but he brings champagne because he's a baller. There's no ice. There's no cups. It's a filthy apartment with an air mattress in the middle of the room. It takes 2.5 hours to start the 3-person show, but he's got people all over the place waiting for him. He flies into all these big parties. I'm just like, you know what, dude? What happened was you and Wiley were talking for a long time, and what happened was you guys did some kind of thing. It got out of hand. Probably what happened was you probably talked so much they couldn't stand him anymore. They probably did put something in his drink just to shut him up because the guy tells a story for 18 hours, and it's not. I mean, give me a break. And then finally, when the guy starts getting into it with Wiley, the cousin slips in. Before he knows it, the cousin's on him too, and he gets freaked out. He gets up and he runs out. Now that's probably the story.
So you think he got so he got freaked out because his cousin?
1,000,000%.
I don't. You know what? I'm willing to believe your take, but it takes me back to that other guy. Did you see that video of that other guy who went to Wild Eye's residence? Who Wild Eye catfished, and when he got there, he was looking at Wild Eye like he was crazy as hell. Apparently when people see Wild Eye, they're in shock. It's not like they are lusting after Wild Eye.
Well,
I don't think that Wild Eye is a man that people fancy to be with. I don't see that only because you saying that they talk so much that they just got so horny and he put something in a drink and they just got it. I don't see that. I don't see that only because
he's his boyfriend.
I don't see that. But okay, I'm gonna listen to you.
The boyfriend is a football player. Yes or no?
Oh, I don't know. I know the Markel. I think I've heard that name.
Yeah. He's a football player, and what is Wiley? 6'2".
But I don't think he knew that at the time.
Oh, I think he knew the build because I think he saw him naked, just like I have the picture on my channel right now on the YouTube Justice Department. I have that picture of Wiley naked because Wiley sent that to everybody. Wiley's been catfishing people and sending his real pictures to people nonstop since before he even got on here. He's been on here 9 years, probably been doing that 15 years. So, do I think that he's got a whole Spanish fly medicine chest and weight dosages? Yeah, sure. But do I think that somebody ambitious is going to roll up and get what they came for? I also think that. He's like, well, he started telling me how he raped his grandmother, and I'm trying to pitch him all my movie production skills. I'm like, wait a second. He threw the Popeyes on the ground in the parking lot. Yeah. You hopped on in. You're like, so tell me about the time you raped your grandmama. And he's like, well, this is a juicy story. I need a movie producer. And he's like, well, now let me pull out my resume. Give me a break.
No, I don't think that's how it went, but I think that
that's how you said it went.
Well, no, that ain't what I got out of it when I heard it today.
Okay, well, he said that. He definitely said as soon as he got in the car after he threw the chicken boxes in the parking lot, he had a total moral outrage over the chicken boxes on the ground.
I didn't gather that from when he told the grandma story that it was like, oh, here's my resume, a movie. I didn't hear that part, but I did know. I heard, what I got out of that is just that he took him for he needed to hear it from him what actually happened. He didn't want to judge a book by what everybody is saying.
Nicole,
he wanted to hear the story from him.
Nicole,
okay,
you missed it.
I'm listening to you.
You missed the part.
I'm listening to you.
I promise you, you missed the part. The dude straight up said, as soon as Wiley started spilling the tea on the grandmother story, he goes, well, listen, I'm a professional in the movie industry. He's like, I'm a production person. I'm ambitious. He's like, so I started telling him about my skills and my connections and how I could tell his story. He missed that part.
Oh, okay. So do you think with him...
I'm telling you, these two snakes...
So hold on. Let me ask you.
These two snakes started started rolling around on the air mattress, and a third snake rolled in, and that's the problem.
All right.
That's the problem.
Okay, so you do believe that something did happen and he was drugged?
I believe
And they rolled
basically
on,
his whole story.
it. Okay.
I believe the whole story, except I think the light he's shedding is that he's not an opportunist, sneaky, gross dude who was courting Wiley on the phone day and night for days on end while he had another football boyfriend, and then he shows up and he annoys them to the point where they're like, "Can you shut him up with some chloroform or something?"
I don't. Oh my God! Well, thank you, Jason, for that.
All right. Goodbye.
I am back. Oh my God! Well, I don't see it like that. There, I definitely don't see it like that. But I think that is funny. I think that anybody who goes over there to that channel, you're gonna be laughing your A off. Okay. 804-528-7766. Anybody else want to call in and let me know? Do you believe there were some sexual misconduct on Wild Eye's part? Also, if you have watched Joaquin's video on Official King Payne's channel, do you believe him? Do you believe that he was, he got afraid, he saw the cousin, after he was drinking, something happened? What happened? What is he leaving out? Why does he have to go into therapy? Why is people who are in the circle, Circle of New York, that show, why is it that young man knows about this situation? Why is it that that Mr. Wild Eye really is not clearing his name? If you ask me, what really happened? What really happened? That's what I would really like to know. Now, he told his story, but I think that there are some missing parts in the story. Because perhaps he might not even remember, because he's saying he was disheveled. He don't know how he got disheveled. His hair was out. He remember punching somebody in the face, and something happened. What do you all believe happened? 804-528-7766. Thank you all for being here today. I don't believe none of this they lying on Mr. because they don't like him. People say that they just don't like him. I don't feel comfortable to say the guy is lying or telling the truth. I wasn't there. I'm saying is all that as a fact. Okay. Hey, Miss It's Renee, I want to thank you for being here. Hatch, what's the channel? Okay, the Official King Payne, he actually has two parts. Part 1 and a part 2. Let me also ask you all. Now, what Mr. Official King Payne was saying is that he thinks that Wild Eye should be registered as a sex offender. How many of y'all believe that? That he should be registered as a sex offender? I don't know. I'm thinking that no one has called the police on him for this stuff. Well, he did go to court in Chicago, but I'm not hearing that he went for a restraining order, I know they got a restraining order out on him. His family put a restraining out on him for 2 years. I think the 2 years is up, but I'm not hearing that it was for any type of sexual allegation regarding the grandmother. So I don't think that no one has come out against him to say that he's done anything. So he can't be registered as a sex offender. But what do you all think? Do you all think that he should be registered as a sex offender? 804-528-7766. And also, do you all feel that there is some jealousy going on with him coming up in the ranks? Now, none of us has ever doubted Mr. Wild Eye's talent. He is very talented. He is very smart. He is very educated. He works very hard to get the behind the scenes stories. He goes on Twitter. He's in contact with a lot of big YouTubers, and a lot of them has come onto his platform. But I think that, when it comes to us down here in this sector, I'm feeling like maybe he's used the gay men down here as a stepping stone to get to where he's at. Maybe that's what he's doing by lying on Mr., catfishing Jay Wilson and threatening him and saying that if you don't come out, I'm going to put your information out, by using ZT and saying, yeah, when they got together, and then saying, yes, we had all this threesome sex and it was wonderful and it was great. I'm thinking that maybe, he used QB. Him and QB took a picture some years back. He used that picture, put a whole story together saying that him and QB slept together. QB gave him STDs and all of these things. Maybe he's using his relationships with the gay men in the sector to come up to be where he is. Now, I think, I guess to each his own. I guess maybe that is popular. Is that popular in the gay community, where you would use that to, use promiscuity to come up in the ranks to say, to get notoriety? So that is really weird to me. Now, I don't know, I've done a show talking about how if we have women in the sector, even if I'm in the sector saying that I'm masturbating and I'm waiting to get with this such and such and such, I'm sure I'll be called every horrible name in the book. But you got I'm sorry, call back. But you got gay men in the sector that's putting out all this promiscuity, spreading all these falsehoods and saying that they will sleep with people with AIDS and all this kind of stuff, and people it's rewarded. So I mean, is a double standard going on to where a woman can nowhere near say she slept with people and had threesomes? A woman cannot say none of these things, and I mean, come on. Am I being facetious or what? Really? There's a huge double standard, because people are saying, well, people are jealous of this man. People are jealous of this man, but he's put out the stories. So it is crazy to me that people are saying that there's this jealousy aspect going on. Oh boy. Hello, this is Mr. Cole Tyler, the ruler, Car Chronicles. Yes, this is another episode of Car Chronicles. What is your comment on Mr. Wild Die? Do you believe that there was some type of sexual misconduct that took place with Mr. Juan Key Pro?
I actually think that there's some holes in the story. First of all, whoever said that Wiley should be registered as a sex offender obviously does not know the law. You can't just go down to the police station and say, hey, put me as a sex offender. I've done this and that.
Right.
It's got to go through wow, okay, let's have some sense here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty new to this sector. I actually came to YouTube because of the Kanika Jenkins thing and sort of somehow got over to this sector. I've been over here probably a year and a half. So I'm just learning a lot of stuff and our background of the stuff that has happened. But and I am a supporter of Wiley, and I do know the things that he has done and been accused of doing. I don't know whether he's done them or not. I just go by his personality, and I'm not going to go by someone, especially Armand Wiggins, that does not like Wiley. I'm not going to go by a video that he's orchestrating and say, yeah, Wiley, you did this, you did that. No, I'm not going to do that. I need proof. I need some type of proof that this happened. Your video does not hold any guns with me. You either need to go to the police and make a report that this happened, or you need some type of proof. You can't just make a video 2 years, and say, hey, this happened, such and such. And I know victims happen. We've seen it with Bill Cosby 20 years ago. People are coming through. I understand that.
Do you believe that Bill Cosby is innocent? Do you believe that Bill Cosby is guilty or innocent?
I believe he did.
What? Hold on now. You just said that you don't.
I believe he did some.
Oh, I'm going to say now.
Not the lady that looks like a man that actually took him to court, but the other models, I believe they were lying. But I do.
Did any of them go to court?
He did some.
Hold on. Did any of them provide proof? Did they provide police reports? Anything? Those women?
I believe they did. I don't know if they had police. I don't know if they had police reports, but they had like they had told their parents, one had told their mother, and he admitted to putting the Quaaludes. I think he admitted to putting the stuff in the drink. I didn't watch that trial, so I really don't know, because I just really thought they were trying to. Well, after Dickinson said she lied, I then said I don't know what to believe. Like,
Okay,
when
so
one of the victims said she lied on Bill, then the other one, it sort of like trickled down that I didn't know whether to believe or not.
so when it
But
comes to Wiley or Wild Eye, the truth is you just don't know what to believe.
well, the thing about Wiley is I learned a lot about him due Jay Wilson's interview with him. And it was a very calculated interview. And if you're not really smart enough to look through and see how Jay Wilson did that interview and picked and got all information out, then you really wouldn't see how Wiley acts, how Wiley operates. So in order to know how he operates, you got to know. I guess let me back up.
I think your answer is just like you said for Bill Cosby. The answer is you just don't know what to believe. I think you should stick with that, because that makes more sense with your answer, because you said with Mr. Wiley you needed facts, you needed evidence. But with Mr. Bill Cosby, he had so many women coming out that a lot of these women didn't even show no facts or anything. But you kind of believe it. You say you don't know what to. I think you really want to believe he did it, because I think you said that Bill Cosby did do it. But then I asked you, did a lot of these women have any facts? And you was like, well, no, and then yes, you was confused. So let's just stick with you don't know.
Cosby, no, the thing with Bill Cosby was these are when you're dealing with a man with money that has so much power, and you have all these women up under you, of course they're going to flock to him. He's going to have people in and out of his room, in and out of his, to his beck and call.
But do you need to know the evidence and the facts, though?
Right,
you just said you need to know. You said you need to know facts and evidence. This is what you said. You said that there was no facts and evidence.
But Bill did say he put the Quaalude in one of their drinks.
Okay, but how many women came out against Bill? Like 200 or 20 or 40?
And a lot of them I do not believe.
Okay,
and I also do not believe this guy who made this video against Wiley.
Okay, so I said that was your answer.
But for you, Nicole,
your answer is you don't really know.
You are, Nicole, with
yes,
you.
I said I believe it. Yeah.
You're automatically saying that Wiley is guilty of a video of a man you don't even know.
I said that I believe it because of all of the sexual misconduct allegations that's around one person. And like you all have told me, everybody can't be telling the same lie. Remember when that story came out about me supposedly being my husband is sleeping with a man and all this stuff? Everybody can't be telling the same lie. But when it comes to Mr. Wild Eye, and he got so many of these allegations, and some of them he put out himself, you all are saying you all just don't believe it. It's a lie. People
are
jealous.
I didn't hear anything about your husband. I've not heard anything.
Well, I'm giving you an example of stuff people that told me. They said, well, everybody can't be telling the same lie, Nicole. So I'm trying to apply that rule here when Mr. Wild Eye. Why I said I believe it, because there are so many sexual allegations about this one person. It's just so many. And then it's
I understand where you're coming from, but you cannot. It has to be some type of, even though he has a history of this. Okay, then someone can go and make a video today and say some more stuff. Then we'll say, oh, well, since such and such made that the other day, then I guess we'll believe that today, too. So, you can just keep making videos and keep believing the stuff. Where's the proof?
He puts this, if the person is telling you that they're doing this, that's the proof. If the person is telling you that, oh, so I slept with someone that gave me STDs, I slept with these people and we had a threesome, oh, I was having sex in the shower, so I pooped on somebody's penis, and I catfished 95, a lot of many guys, 95% success rate of taking somebody's picture, stealing somebody's identity. I put this on a website, and when they came to my home, I pretended I was somebody's cousin and all this stuff, and when they come to my house, I have on a towel. They're telling you that they're doing this kind of stuff. So with me telling you all of this, would it be far-fetched if somebody said that he may have put something in their drink and attempted to sexually abuse them? Would that sound out of ordinary? No, that don't sound. That sound like that goes along with the narrative that he put out himself.
No, not necessarily. Well, right, it would. If you've heard all that stuff and then you hear this, then yes, you're going to think, well, yeah, it could be true. But my problem with this is the person that is orchestrating this is a known person to not like Wiley, and that is Armand.
Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. The guy, it's a guy on Instagram who was in contact with Mr. Wiley when it went down, who was FaceTiming him when he was saying, something is wrong, I'm lost, I don't know where I'm at. This happened to me when I was in there with this person. I don't know. He was very confused. He was, seemed like he was trying to run for his life. He's the one who came out with it and said, this is what happened. And he said he didn't even want to put this out about him, but him and Wiley, they got into it. And he said, well, basically, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to put this information out that I know on you. And so I'm guessing we all know that sometimes Mr. Wiley, he don't know how to stop. So I guess that's when it came out. It was not put out by official Kingpin and Armand Wiggins. It been out for a year or two, for real. The story is not new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a new story.
Well, if I was the guy, I probably would have gone to the authorities instead of running to YouTube about it.
Yeah.
If it was that serious.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. And I agree with that too.
All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you. All right, so I agree with that woman. I think that we should, the person that many people should go to authorities. Definitely, if you feel like you've been taken advantage of, or you going somewhere and you feel like your life is in danger, definitely, if you can get out of that house, definitely go to the police. I don't know why that person did not go to the police, because a lot of people were saying that in the chat, saying that he should have probably went to the police if he feel like something had happened. As far as what I do remember, he said he punched Wiley in the face or something. He was trying to get away. To me, there is some holes in the story, because it seemed like there may be holes in the story because he just don't remember. Something went on. He don't remember. Okay, and I think that is why people, or maybe him or the people who he went back and told during this situation, that because he did confide in some people, that's why people are saying that there may be some drugs involved, because he don't quite remember. He just know this happened, that happened, dishevelment, a fight, and I'm running for my damn life. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, also, I mean, there's definitely people out there, like I was telling you about my girlfriend, and this is a whole woman that this happened to. You all be careful of your phones. Be careful of your information getting leaked out. Don't leave your phone on around people you don't know. People try to take your identity. People try to take your information out of your phones and all kinds of stuff. In this situation, that young man said that people were trying to get in contact with him, but their numbers were blocked, and all kinds of stuff had happened to his phone, because he said that what he do remember is when he looked up, Mr. Wilder had his phone, and he said that the cousin was there to maybe as a distraction to distract him from what was going on when he came out of that bathroom. Okay. So anyway, we'll take one more phone call, 804-528-7766. And let me put this disclaimer out. I'm nowhere near jealous of this person. I don't care if they go up, down, all around. I don't care what goes on with this person. I'm nowhere near jealous of this person. But I just wanted to say, when I heard the situation, because this person has put, and I feel a little close to the situation, because not that situation, but to that person, because I am also a person who has been wronged by this person. This person has gone behind my back taking information about me off a site and put it on their website when they had it. Okay, so yes, that's why I feel like, this stuff maybe possibly there is some truth to it, because I'm just not the only one who has been wronged by him. A lot of the YouTube content creators in this sector has had him go into their personal life, take out situations and put it on their website or what have you. So yeah, I am a victim of that situation. And also, you have to be careful now. We all have a lot of doxing, people doxing, and people still saying, Mr. Cole Tyler, you dox and all this kind of stuff. You have to be careful of when you're putting people information out on your damn community feed. Okay, you don't know who is stealing your identity. People are stealing people's identity out here. That's one of the reasons I don't really like nobody going into my business and putting it out there like that, because I don't do that to you. Okay, so you just never know. People looking up your identity, stealing your identity, and all kind of crazy stuff. So you have to be careful. Okay, we'll do one more phone call and then I will go. And I just want to thank you all for being here with me today. I just want to say that it's not far-fetched, only because there are a lot of sexual allegations about surrounding this person. Okay, so that's why it's not far-fetched. It's different if you got different kinds of allegations out about you, but to have all of them surrounding some type of sexual predatory this situation, like it's always something sexual with this person. It's always some type of sexual allegation out about this person. So it's just always weird when it comes to this sexual prowess of men. Okay, and the things and the lengths that they will go to have this sexual experience. So we just also have to be careful. Also, if you are of the LGBTQ community and you are watching, definitely protect yourselves. I mean, we don't know what people have in their minds and things like that. We don't know who people have been with. A lot of people are not sharing and exposing their information. That's why we do have in the Black African American community, we have incidents of the HIV virus. Because people are not telling people if they're on the down low, and it's men and women. If you're on the down low, if you're gay, if you're bisexual, or you're just a trisexual, meaning you a tridam in anything. Okay, definitely protect yourself, because you don't know who people are sleeping around with. Okay, and in this situation, you do have people who are spiking drinks. Okay, you got people who are spiking your drink and all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, so all right, you all be careful with that. All right, so I think this will be probably something that'll be going on in the sector maybe today. And I think that it definitely is important to talk about. It'll bring awareness to anybody that's young. If we got any young people out there watching this broadcast, please be careful. Don't leave your drinks around. Okay, that's what men and women do. Not drink. Do not leave your drinks around. Remember that situation that happened with Charlemagne and that young girl. I think she was 15 at the time, and I don't want to get into she was 15. What is she doing at the party and all these kinds of things, because there's so much we can go into with that situation. But what I want to bring out is that she went to this party and someone spiked her drink. And she alleges that it was Charlemagne who spiked her drink, and she was allegedly raped by 2 or more people, and she named Charlemagne as being one of the ones who raped her, and allegedly raped her. And then once they did what they did, she was just sitting outside of that party on the sidewalk. They just left her there. She went there with a girlfriend, and she was just left on the sidewalk after she was raped. Okay, after they spiked her drink, and some random guys pulled up and saw her and her friend sitting on the damn sidewalk and asked them, are they okay? What is going on? And they're the ones who called the police. Okay, so we have to be careful with people spiking drinks and putting all these ruthies and drugs and all this kind of stuff in your drink. There are a lot of sexual deviants, sexual predators out there, you all, who are just preying on people in general. So you have to be careful. Okay, all right, y'all. So I'm gonna get ready to go. I just wanted to talk about this situation and just say what I believe. And you all don't have to believe what I believe, but I think that where there is smoke, there is fire. Okay? And so this stuff have to be talked about. We cannot be afraid to talk about these things. Just because these people are your favorite YouTubers and all this kind of stuff, you cannot be afraid to talk about this stuff. I said it. All right. All right, so I'm going to get ready to go. I am your host of Car Chronicles. My name is Miss Nicole Tyler, a.k.a. Sexy Clean the Ruler. And you all have the best and greatest day that you can. And I am out. I love you all. You all have a great rest of your day. Mwah! Mwah!